Hi everyone, and welcome to And So On. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to tell you who won the giveaway and give you a few updates. So first off, let us start with the giveaway. Thank you so much for everyone who entered. I used commentpicker.com, and the winner is Connie Buckner. And Connie says, congratulations on 7,000. I love that you added the knitting section to your podcast. Thank you, Connie. That's very kind of you to say. I'd like to see a heel done. I have knitted several items, but for some reason cannot turn a heel. Strange. I know fancy cables, but no socks. So congratulations, Connie. I'm so excited for you. Contact me with your email address and I will send that off to Athena and she will get that pattern to you right away. Okay, so let's start with a life update. The house has not sold, and I think that we just kind of missed the season and got on the market a little too late. So we're taking it off the market and we're going to reevaluate in the new year. So a little bit disappointing because we put so much work into it. Really, that's what it's about. We put so much work into it. Our agent worked so hard. So from that point of view, a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, so many beautiful things were done to our house that I kind of like the fact that we get to enjoy it for a while first and maybe, get several months to live here and enjoy it. And because it's not on the market, now we can, decorate for Christmas and bring some of our stuff back. So funny thing about that, when we were packing, the first thing I packed up was my sewing room because I knew that, I wasn't going to need it for a while. And I packed it up all perfectly. I even took all the fabric that I knew I would want to sew in the next few months and I put it in a bin and I marked it so that, as soon as this was done, I could get back that bin and my sewing machine and I didn't have to take out all my sewing stuff to be able to sew again. And so today we went to the storage space to look for some things to bring back. And because that was one of the first boxes to leave the house, it's like way deep in there. I can't even see it. The best laid plans. So luckily I did have a chunk of stuff that was in a different area of my sewing room because it was big, like puffy. So I'm going to show you what I have. And and also even better, I kept my sewing machine out, but I packed the cords. Very smart. So I do have my serger and I'll be using my serger. So what do I have to sew with in the next few weeks? Well, these things, I think you've seen them before, but at least now you'll know exactly what I'm working with. So I have this fabric from Fabricland, and it's a little bit blown out in this. I'm actually trying something new where I'm leaving the focus on my face in terms of exposure, so it doesn't change the exposure so much. So let me know if you think it looks better. Anyway, so this is gray with pink polka dots, and I do want to make some robes for my daughters for Christmas. Guess where my patterns are? Probably right next to the fabric box. It says "Sew for Christmas" on it. So I'll be working with free patterns, and my next door neighbor Janet is so lovely, and I know if I ask her, she will dig out a couple of patterns for me to work with. So I'm not worried from that point of view. I just hope that I can find the cords for my sewing machine. So that's what I'm going to sew for the girls. The other thing I have is this really great fleece, and it's navy with this little white fleck in it. And so I thought I could do some sort of indoor oversized coat thing. Of course, the pattern for the Wixton is in the storage unit, but I could just do a simple coat just to have something to make for myself. I also have the navy blue wool. I kind of think it's a little bit late now to do a wool coat. So I might not do this right away because I don't want to waste this just because I want something to sew. Might have to go back to the fabric store. I can't believe I'm saying that. I really hope my husband's not listening right now. So this, I wonder if I put it up against yeah, okay. So you can see that this is basically like gray t-shirting and it has the batting in the middle. But it's nice because it's on both sides. And I realize it may end up pilling because of the jersey fabric, but I like this so much better than like that shiny nylon that's usually on coat lining. So yeah, I could do a wool coat with this lining. It'd be really pretty. So I'm gonna have to be a little creative with my sewing coming up, but I will definitely do some. And of course, there's so many beautiful fabric stores and fabric online shops that I could pick up one or two things just to grab something to do. So knitting, first of all, I want to show you this month's knit crate, and I've already opened this, I'll be honest, because I was so excited. I knew what it was going to be, and I wanted to see which color I got. So first of all, when you open it, you can see here, you're getting 2 skeins of really lovely yarn every month. And I do have a referral code below for 20% off if you want to give it a try. So this, if you get November, oh, isn't that gorgeous? So this has stellina in it, so it's got a shine, can you see? Which is so festive. And this is Uru yarn. And it's 20% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 10% nylon, 10% stellina, and this is worsted. So it's 200 grams of worsted for $25 shipped, which I think is pretty great. I think I'm gonna order the sock yarn as well because I love that that's the same color, and then this sort of bright pinky red, again with the stellina in it. So I don't have any finished objects to show you, but I do have some works in progress still that I've made some progress on. I have this shawl that I'm working on, and I'll insert a picture. I think it's called the Everyday Shawl, and I'm doing that on the Making Things app. And I love that I can keep track of my rows and how many rows I'm doing, etc., etc. And it remembers it so that the next time I go in, even if I'm on my phone or I'm on my iPad, it's all there, it's all written down. Because if I just like write it down one at a time, dollars to donuts, I lose that piece of paper and I'm in trouble. So I'm pairing this with the Shibui Silk Cloud. As you can see, I'm almost at the end of the first skein of yarn, but I have 2, so this should be enough. And I steamed this right beforehand so that you could kind of see the shape. So there's this end, and now I'm at the point where I'm no longer increasing on both sides. And so this is gonna start to take more of a wedge shape as I go. So steaming things just, like I said before, I have a Conair Steamer that I got at Amazon a couple of years ago. I just dropped some stitches. Okay, minor emergency. So I got a Conair Steamer on Amazon a few years ago for 30 bucks. I'll see if I can find the same one and link it below. You know what, like it's just so great I don't have to get out an ironing board and, you know, protect things or whatever. I literally just plug it in and go whoosh, 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 and sort of steam it out so that when I start to see this shape, it's really motivating as opposed to when it's all curled up and it doesn't really look like anything. So pairing this with the Shibui, it's so, so soft. And I think it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be great. You might remember the sock that I was working on last time, and you might remember that I said that I was gonna frog it, which I did, and then I pretty much did almost the exact same sock. I started this from the bottom, and actually I'm gonna change, there we go, that's better. I like toe up because I really love doing a Turkish cast on. Can you see, like it's just, I mean, it looks like a machine did it. It's so perfect. And my Kitchener stitch is not great. And so I just love the fact that you can cast on and have that beautiful rolled edge. And then I increase every other row with a yarn over. And I learned that, gosh, I wish I remember who taught me that, but I don't remember, some video. What I like about that is that I don't have to count whether or not I'm on an increase row, because if there is a yarn over, I just knit that yarn over. I knit it through the back loop to make it tighter so I don't have holes. So I either increase with a yarn over, or I convert that yarn over into a stitch by knitting through the back loop. And then all I do is I just keep going until I get to what I do, which is, I think I did 60 stitches on this because I felt like this was knitting up a little bit more snug than, say, the Sweet Georgia bulletproof yarn. Bulletproof? They're sock yarn. This seems to be knitting up a little bit tighter gauge, so I went with the 60 on 2.0 needles. And you might remember that I was worried that that bird's eye pattern from the last one wasn't really showing off the yarn, and I just like it. I did a 5x1 rib, so you can see there my pearls. And I twist the pearls so that it's more snug. I have really narrow feet, and one thing with hand knit socks is I like a sock to hug my feet. I don't want it too big. So I'm hoping that this will happen with that. And then this is the back. And it's just such a pretty yarn. I just don't feel like it needs a lot. I'm gonna insert an afterthought heel here. And then I did a 2x2 twisted rib. I don't know if twisted rib is technically supposed to be twisted knits and twisted purls, but I just twist the purls because the way I knit, it's faster. So I am going to do a video on how I knit. That's coming up. And I'm also going to answer all of your questions from the last video. That's coming up as well. So yeah, stay tuned. For this sock, I used these two Leo and Roxy yarns. This is quartz. This is If This Were Ice Cream, and really lovely to knit with. Lastly, I have this book that I got. It's called Knits About Winter. It's by Pom Pom magazine, and the author's name is Emily Foden, and Emily lives in Ontario, and I have some of her yarns. You might remember the minis that I got from her. It's a beautiful book. I pre-ordered it. I love it, and let me show you some of the pictures. This is a gorgeous book. I mean, just the photos alone are absolutely stunning. I mean, it's just lovely. Like, everything is so gorgeous. I love the socks. My only concern is it seems like the gauge is really, really small, and I am a really loose knitter, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna be able to work with needles small enough to get this gauge. At least not on the fingering weight. Probably on the DK, like that's a DK hat. Probably on the DK I will, but on the finger, like I really want to make the mittens. Aren't they cute? Anyway, so that's my only concern is I feel like my gauge is not gonna work with this book, but maybe I can figure it out. I mean, I just love these. So these are mitten liners. So you put this on the inside and you use whatever leftover yarn you have, and then you put them inside these ones, these here, which are just, you know, like they're simple, but they're beautiful. Like they're beautifully simple, which is one of my favorite things. Okay guys, that's all for me. I am off to get some Christmas shopping done. I have a few things to pick up. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, I would love it if you would hit subscribe. I do videos every week, sometimes twice a week when I'm not in kind of moving chaos. But I would love for you to follow me on my sewing and knitting journey. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.